face the rising sun. Comfort me through all the pain that life may bring. There's no other hope that I can lean upon. Lead me, Lord, lead me all my life. Walk by me, across the lonely roads that I may face. Take my arms and let your hands show me the way. Show the way to live inside your heart all my days. All my life. You are my light. You're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light. I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. Lead me, Lord.
Welcome to City Exodus.
Welcome to City Exodus!
Welcome back to City Exodus. A lot has been going on since our last episode. It's now late August of 2021. Time is flying. Where has the year gone? So we want to let you know what we've been doing since last April. I believe that's around the time our last episode was put out as far as our country living journey. And so I wanted to break this down into about 2 or 3 episodes because I didn't want to make a long 3-hour episode. So we're going to be breaking them down into episodes to let you know all these things we've been experiencing and want to share with you. So we're gonna start this out by letting you know since the last time we've updated you, since around April, beginning of May. So my birthday was actually in April, and with all the things that have been going on, we decided to have a whole day of horseback riding. It was all our first times horseback riding. It was fun. A sister from church had a couple of horses, and we were able to just spend a whole day together as a family and learn not just the horseback ride, but to actually from step 1 all the way down to cleaning the horse, to brushing the horse, to seeing how the shoes are put on, how to put the saddle on, and just to learn all these steps. And now it looks like the children want some horses. So horses are great. It was very fun, very relaxing, wow. I've been in Arizona for now 3 years, and it's like I finally got to ride a horse. In April, we were also getting ready because in May we had our camp meeting on our property, and we were looking to clear the land. So I actually found someone who actually rents out tractors. And so I got to actually use a tractor and learn how to use a backhoe all on my own, just by kind of messing around with it. It's pretty easy to use to clear some of the land and take out some of the trees and to level off some pieces of our property. We've also had some more visitors from all over still coming to see the properties, and people interested in parts of Arizona that because the land is still available, it's still fairly cheap, even with the rise in pricing of homes and land. They're still fairly reasonable, but of course a lot of land is going fast. One of our visitors that we actually had speak at our church was Brother Dustin from Hope Through Prophecy. If you don't know who that is, check him out on YouTube. He's a great evangelist, very good deliveries on a lot of our important messages as Adventists and a lot of these end time messages. So if you haven't had time to check out his ministry, it's called Hope Through Prophecy. He does a really good job of giving these messages, but very straight to the point. So I suggest watching his channel and looking at his videos. Very great brother, and we were very blessed to have him speak for like a little revival series at our church. Also most of the people moving, because a lot of people now are working from home, they need very consistent internet, and that's something that we don't really have in our area, especially in rural areas. We have satellite Wi-Fi, which is slow. It's not like dial-up speed, but I mean it's not that fast. A lot of lag, and there's a lot of limitations, like you can only have about 20 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes of data a month before it slows down and throttles down to very slow speeds. But I just want to let you know, if you don't know already, that there are options now. Starlink is coming soon to our area. So Starlink is owned by Elon Musk, and he's putting out so many satellites out in space, and these speeds are pretty fast, and it's available in Arizona. Not yet, but they're pre-registering so that when it does come out, it should come out between middle of this year, which was July, to the end of the year. And that way that kind of solves internet speeds. And it's unlimited, as I know of now. Unlimited without any throttle downs. And so something to look at and something to consider if you're going to move into a rural area. Look into Starlink. So we have more updates on our treatment room. As you know, we had plans. We've been working with a contractor from California, one of the brethren. I didn't realize that when we were speaking with this brother that we had to pay, because every time we had spoken, it seemed like he just wanted to help, just to make plans, just to draw like a little site plan of what the idea was, or what the plan was for the treatment room. And when we finally discussed it, it was going to be a pretty hefty price for just to drop some plans. I thought, I'm not really familiar with it, but it was going to cost around $1,200, $1,300, and that was fine. But I learned my lesson, even with, if you've seen our previous and older episodes, when we did the mobile home, I paid the contractor in full, and it later bit us later on, and as you know, that there was a delay and problems with having him come. And so this time I had told this brother that I would pay $300 or $400 up front, and as we go, we'd continue to pay that off. And after that, we were working together with him. We drew up the plans, and I think in some of the episodes I actually showed the site plan, the final site plan that we had. After that, we really didn't hear much from him afterwards. I had to keep calling, and then it'd take a long time to get back. And I guess there's some personal things that he was going through. And this is almost the same scenario as our contractor before that put our house together. And I understood, so once a month I'd call and check in, and then things were said where, okay, this will get done by this date, and things weren't just shaping up. And it's been now about 5-6 months since I've tried to reach out, and I just would see if he would call me, and he hasn't. And so maybe he's just given up on us, maybe he has other problems, but I just can't. I'm not going to wait 2-3 years, 2 years like we did with a home. I just got to see it as it is what it is. At least we didn't pay in full, and we paid only a part of it and only got part of the service. So and so I think the best thing that we can do, when I think about it, instead of going with aside from the contractor, but actually having a contracted builder, because we have the opt-out, we could have any kind of builder we want, because the opt-out plan, as you know, I've mentioned it in a few episodes, that in our county that you could build any way you want with no inspections, no coding, and things like that, no permits. And so I think we're going to go that route to build a treatment room. That way it's easier to find someone to actually build. And so that's it. And so now we're moving forward, and we have other options that we're looking at. We have a couple other builders in mind to start building, and by the grace of God, we're just waiting for different funds to come in, and we do have some to start, but a lot of builders are busy right now with a lot of projects, and so, but that's okay. We're gonna wait and hold out and wait until God gives us the signal and gives us a clear sign of who's gonna be building it, and when the funds come in, and as we go, we're going to do it. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to travel, we're continuing to help people, do our consultations, and help people where they're at. And it's been working out. It's been such a blessing. I'll share more of that with you as we continue on with the next few episodes. So in April, we had been impressed to see one of our friends they wanted help with some health. And so we developed a protocol for them and did a few Zoom meetings with them, and we decided to go out to visit them. It was a blessing to meet so many people interested in the work, and also to see people who are very committed into the health message and wanting to get better and wanting to heal, and seeing the enthusiasm of a family just really come together and want to do it all together to be able to give the treatments to each other, to be able to participate, even if some of them weren't even feeling sick, but just to be able to be supportive. And it was nice to really see that, to see the commitment of people when they want to get healthier, and to have that support system. And it was also a blessing to be able to speak it in someone's home, despite the things happening, despite the mandates. People were willing to open up their homes and have large groups to be able to hear country living and medical missionary work messages. Important messages, I believe, for the times that we're living in. And to be able to speak in a church as well was a very, very huge blessing, to be able to even just meet with a few people, a small group that was interested in these messages. So God has really been blessing us with these great opportunities to be able to come into the cities and not just stay out in the country and homestead. We're not homesteaders, we're Adventists. And so we have messages to give. It's important that we go to the cities, speak these messages, and bring people back with us. I mean, I think that is what Enoch did. And we can't say we want to be like Enoch and move to the country, but not yet do the work in the city and not bring back people with us. So when we're out in the country, make sure that you're bringing people back with you, inviting people to your homes, and not just kind of just being a homesteader and just kind of secluding yourself. And so definitely, if there's opportunities like that, I would definitely really want to make an appeal to those that are in the country to make sure you don't forget about the brethren that you have, that you left behind in the city. It's very touching, because we've also been to our old home churches, and being able to speak to some people there, and to be able to share even with some pastors and different things, some of the things that we're doing. And there's a big misunderstanding of what country living is to some people, and I think some people just need a little bit more clarification. In the midst of all that, going to church meetings, going to home meetings, consulting on the phone with patients on Zoom, going to patients' homes, planning for these camp meetings that were coming up. It was really, and then when we were home, taking care of our home and getting things done, like with the tractor and with the backhoe and clearing land and all the preventive maintenance, fixing the cars and changing brakes and all the things that have to do with having a homestead as well. Schedules were getting really full. Our schedules were getting really full. And as we had been speaking with people on the phone and praying with people, many of our friends, some friends and family, and some of you who have left comments or emails for us, had given us some really good advice and really good counsel. And it was just a repeated message that we knew that God was speaking to us through you. And some of our devotionals we've had that would come up, it was very obvious that God was trying to speak to us. And this was His message to us. With the scheduling, we had to remember that one of the health laws is rest. And that we couldn't just keep overworking ourselves, because we were almost finding ourselves to the point where we were getting a little burnt out, but we're just daily being strengthened by God and asking Him for strength. And He would give us the energy to just do all these things. But these were some of the quotes that people had been sending us, that we have been reading, that we have come across, and the people reiterating that by just out of nowhere, not even knowing the situations we were in, not even knowing how we were feeling, and just out of the blue. And I know that's not out of the blue. I believe it was God really speaking to us. But here's some of the things that we were hearing and seeing and reading. While God's workers are to be filled with a noble enthusiasm and with a determination to follow the example of the divine worker, they are not to crowd too many things into the day's work. If they do this, they will soon have to leave the work entirely, broken down because they have tried to carry too heavy a load. It is right for them to make the best use of the advantages given them of God in earnest efforts for the relief of the suffering and for the salvation of souls. But they are not to sacrifice health. We have a calling as much higher than common, selfish interest as the heavens are higher than the earth. But this thought should not lead the willing servants of God to carry all the burdens they can possibly bear without periods of rest. And so that's just one quote. And here's another that came to us either from a text message someone from an email, or just something we came across through our studies. Though time is short and there's a great work to be done, the Lord is not pleased to have us so prolong our seasons of activity that there will not be a time for periods of rest, for the study of the Bible, and for communion with God. All this is essential to fortify the soul, to place us in a position where we shall receive wisdom from God to employ our talents in the Master's service to the highest account. When Jesus said the harvest was great and the laborers were few, he did not urge upon his disciples the necessity of ceaseless toil. He tells his disciples that their strength has been severely tried, that they will be unfitted for future labor unless they rest a while. In the name of Jesus, economize your powers, that after being refreshed with rest, you may do more and better work. When the disciples related all their experience to Jesus, he understood their need. Their labor had greatly elated and encouraged them, but it had also worn upon them. A desert place did not mean a waste and solitary wilderness, but a place of retirement and quiet, pleasant to the eyes and invigorating to the body. They sought such a place near a favorite resort on the Sea of Galilee. The Christian life is not made up of unceasing activity or of continual meditation. He knew that a season of rest and recreation, apart from the multitude and the scene of their labors, would invigorate them, and he sought to withdraw them from the busy cities to a quiet resort where they might have a season of precious fellowship with him and with each other. The disciples of Jesus needed to be educated as to how they should labor and how they should rest. Today, there's a need that God's chosen workmen should listen to the command of Christ to go apart and rest a while. So I want to thank our friends and our brethren, our family, for just really showing us love and feeling impressed to send some of these quotes and to just tell us, hey, you guys need to take a break once in a while. And to hear a brother, his name is Brother Arnie, to share his experiences of when he had a wellness center and how he got really sick because they just really went go nonstop, just nonstop one after the other. And he just really told us, please don't do the same thing I did. I learned it the hard way. And hearing it even from some of our patients saying, we see that you guys are doing so much work, you guys should rest too. And when we told them that we had been seeing these quotes and other people have been telling us, they were saying, well, we're glad that people are saying this to you because you do need some rest. And it's right, as we see that we won't be fitted for the work if we're worn out and tired. And so we took that to the heart and we gave it to God and prayed and thanked him for speaking to us and still giving us instructions. So as a family, we decided to after each time we see a patient or have these trips to places where we're speaking, that we take a couple days off to just relax with our family and to go to a place of retreat where we could enjoy each other's company and just get back to some of the things that we love doing, and to be able to praise God and see the nature around us. And sometimes that not be at home, because at home sometimes there's a lot of work to do there too, and we just really have to shut things down. So if there's any days that you can't get a hold of us, it's probably one of those days that we're kind of shutting down to try to get recharged and regroup and reconnect with our source of power. And after doing this, as soon as we decided this, we took a couple days off, and we were recharged, and then we were back in it again, ready to go back into seeing some more patients and consulting and doing some more speaking engagements. And I want to make an appeal for those of you who are doing ministry work, or some of you on getting out into the country, and also those of you who are preaching these messages, and just any of you who are doing any kind of missionary work, including with your family. Make sure you rest. Make sure you always have that time that you have, and also your devotional time alone with God in the mornings or in the evenings, your family devotions, but also just to be able to get away and put everything away. And just really, our first mission is our family, and so take those times to go to the park or go camping for a couple days, or to go to the lake or whatever, and just spend a couple days with your family, and just to rest and to keep everything, all that work aside for now. We really felt guilty when we're we're thinking about like just taking some time off, and we thought, no, how can we rest and relax and swim and camp, knowing that there are people who need our help? What are we going to say? Yeah, that's great that you're very sick or that you need help with some country property, but sorry, we're gonna take a couple days off and kind of just have some fun with one another and have fun with the kids, and we'll just call you back later, while they're suffering, but again, as we read the counsel and as we heard counsel from some of these other people in ministries and our friends, that hey, if you guys are burnt out, what good are you going to be? And so we really took that to heart, and so we really want to really heed God's instructions. And I think it's no coincidence that there are so many people who approached us about that. And so thank you so much for those of you who have been encouraging us to rest and to make sure we take those periodic breaks in between things. And I just want to thank you all. We love you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for caring, and thank you for sharing those with us, those quotes and the counsel and the prayers. We really appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts, and we feel a lot better now going into these places that God has brought us to. As He's giving us these opportunities, we feel more well rested and have more energy, and our zeal is still up. And so I suggest that you do the same and follow those same instructions. I know it's hard to just try to step away for a while because there's so much work to do, but we really need to be at full strength. And by the grace of God, He will empower us and give us what we're lacking in. But we do need rest. It's His command. It's His instructions for His people. And it's very important to just really do this to connect to our true source so that He could give us the energy to continue this work while there's still time. So I hope you've been encouraged. So go get some rest so that you could be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
City Exodus has committed itself to spreading the present truth messages in these last days, not only to our brethren, but to the surrounding communities that we are a part of or visit. As we learn more of the medical missionary work, we continue also making City Exodus episodes on our country living journey and continue the literature, friendship, and health evangelism. You can visit us on our Facebook page and see the latest posts on what we're doing and current news pertaining to end time events. And you can also visit us on our website at www.sdacityexodus.com to check out our ministry, our various natural remedies and products, and our apparel store. And you can also find other resources there that might be a blessing to you. On our website, you can also donate and support our ministry. Since we are self-supporting and are limited in funds, we would like to continue doing as much of the work in these last days, but we'll need your help. We appreciate your support in our mission and continuing work.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing. Maranatha.